everybody, welcome to the Black Sheep Props channel. I'm Steve and I'm here to teach you the tips, tools, techniques, and materials for building your very own super cool EVA foam props. Now in our last episode, making an EVA foam Keyblade Part 1, we knocked out the body of our Keyblade and our handle. And you saw how we did that. We did 2 halves of each and we sandwiched a metal rod on the inside. So we built our whole body piece, sandwiched a metal rod in it that sticks out the front, and then we did the same technique on the handle. We did 2 pieces for the handle and we sandwiched a brass dowel inside there that goes up into the handle. We got that all built in episode 1. Now, oh, by the way, super easy. You've seen us do this before where we embed something inside of our prop to stiffen it up, and it's totally easy. So now in this episode, making an EVA foam Keyblade Part 2. We're going to complete the whole rest of this build. We're going to build the whole front end of this contraption on here. We're going to get the dowel wrapped around our metal rod. We're going to put our little brackets on here. We're going to put the teeth to our key on here, and got this nice little recessed piece in between each finger there. Super easy stuff, and we're gonna knock out, bam, the medallion too. So, all gonna be just as easy as part 1. So if you're ready to hit it, let's make something. All right, now we're going to be attaching our foam dowel in place. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna come in, we're gonna trace around the bottom here, we're gonna spin it around to this side, and we're going to trace around as well. So now we know where we're going to be cementing right in there. Every once in a while, from letting air get inside your glue pot, it can get a little bit gloopy, and that is exactly what we're experiencing right now. Should be okay, but we're going to take a break here in a minute, and we're going to get some thinner inside our glue pot to get our glue a little more smooth and watery. All right, there we go. On the end, and right there. All right, we've got cement right here, and we've got cement on these 2 pieces and on the ends. So we're gonna give all this a few minutes to dry. All right, there we go. We're pulling our trench open a little bit. We're getting it in there nice and embedded. And now we're going to bring this side in, and we're going to stick it down right in the corner like so. All right, there we go. Now we're going to go right down the edge, sealing this every step of the way, just like that. All right, there we go. Check that out. That is sturdy right there. Look at that. That whole thing is super sturdy, not wobbling around at all. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to begin making the 2 end pieces that are going to go right back here on the back body of our Keyblade. And what we need is we need the top piece to be thicker than the bottom piece. So what we did was we took a 3/4 inch piece of foam, which is 18 millimeter, and we traced our template over to it. We're going to cut this out on the bandsaw, and then we needed an 1¼ inch thick piece for the other one. So what we're doing is we're taking a 24 millimeter piece, which is 1 inch, and a 4 millimeter piece, which is 1/8, and we're going to attach the 2 so it's the thickness we want, and then we're going to knock it out on the bandsaw. We're going to heat this up before we glue it because we want a nice smooth surface. You don't. All right, there we go. Now that's the 1¼ inch thickness we wanted, which is perfect. Now we're going to knock these out on the bandsaw real quick. All right, there we go. There's one. Now we're going to knock out the other one. All right, there's the other one. Now these are going to come in and they're going to attach together just like that. Just like, very nice. All right. Now because this top piece and these two ends have some bandsaw marks on them, all right, give it a couple minutes. There we go. Wow, that is nice. All right. All right, there's our line where we're going to cement both pieces. All right, we got it lined up in the center where our marks are. All right, now we're going to... That is cool. Got a little recessed area down in there on both sides. Wow. All right, now what we'll probably do is we'll probably go around the edge of this with the Dremel so we can round off these top edges just like we did in here. All right, there we go. Nice rounded edges. We're gonna bring our heat gun in. We're gonna hit it real quick. This is really cool. We've got the step down detail here. We've got this step down detail in the middle. We've got this little recessed area in here. This is turning out really cool. Okay, what we did is we transferred our template over to our foam, 2mm foam. We cut it out and we drew our guidelines on here so we know where we're going to be gluing. Actually, this is the back one. Heat seal this real quick just to get it smooth. All right, there we go. We waited for the contact cement to set up, started in the center, wrapped around both sides, met up at the bottom. Now all right, there we go. Give it a like that. Look at that. Nice little raised detail there. We started at the top, we wrapped around the two sides, we met up at the bottom, and if we have a tiny little gap there, which we do, really tiny, we're going to come in later on with our quick seal, we're going to fill the gap. And all right, now what we're going to do is we're going to come in here and we're going to put two rivet marks right here on the corner. So we're going to come in with our Dremel. All right, there we go. Nice little rivet marks. All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to start building the front end of our Keyblade. We're going to put a metal support in on this side and this side just to give it a little bit more stability. So from here to here, where we'll bend it this way. Let's see what we got. Let's straighten it out just a little bit. And now what we need is right about here, and we're going to bend it down. All right, there we go. Look at that. Beautiful. Now just like that. Okay. All right, there's our two supports. Piece of cake. You just take. All right, there we go, just like that. Okay, there we go. Beautiful. All right, now what we're gonna do is just outside our Sharpie mark. Okay, there we go. All right, now we're going to come in just like that and that. Now, say we've got this flush on the edge right here, which is what we want, with our two dowels sticking out, and we flip it over and that's what we have. So now we can come in with our template. All right, there we go. Just like that. Nice. We're gonna have to get in here and we're gonna have to stand our knife up and we're gonna have to pivot our blade and go around the inside corners to get those nice tight corners. We're gonna get a nice sharp blade in there. Curve our knife around just like that. All right, there we go. Check it out. That. All right, now we're going to be coming in and we're going to be attaching right up into here, just like that. So what we're going to need to do is we're probably going to need to cut these off a little bit. Those are a little bit too long. All right, that's a little bit better. This one's got to come off a little bit as well. Let's get in there and... All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to take our four pieces that are going to go inside here, and what we did was we have a certain thickness for this piece, and these are a little bit thinner so that they look a little recessed. So we're going to come in. And we feed this in. Now it's a little bit tight in there, but it'll be fine once we glue it. So all right, there we go. That's simple. Now we're just going to take these one at a time. We're going to heat seal them and we're going to stick them in place. All right, there we go. We had a blowout. Look at that. Like we've said before, man, mayhem ensues when you're propping. Yeah. All right. Look at that. Nice rounded off corners all the way around the edges everywhere. So we're going to come in with our heat gun. Oh, yeah. Tightening it up. Look at that. Sealing it. Very nice. Nice, with rounded off edges. Very nice. So we're going to come in here with 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we're going to stick those in. Let's go ahead and take these blown out gloves off. Get this open. We're going to put this right inside there. And we're going to hold it in there while it bonds. Getting in there. All right, look at that. Man, is that cool. Nice little recessed detail there. All right, now we have our two straps that we're going to be wrapping around right here. And we took a test strip and we measured around and we got our distance, which is from here to here. We're going to come in where our lines are and we are going to tip our knife a little bit so that we've got a little bit of a bevel cut. And we're going to do the same thing on this side. We're going to come around to this line. We're going to do a slight little bevel cut. The knife is just tipped a little bit. All right, see that? We have a little bit of a bevel cut right here. So when we bring it together, it's going to match up perfectly. So, all right, there we go. Now, when we wrap this, it should match right up perfectly, which it's going to. Nice. All right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to make our marks. We're going to trace our line around the edge just like that, so we know where we're going to be contact cementing. Okay, not only do we have it cemented here and here, but we have it cemented on the ends too, because the ends are going to have to touch together. So we're going to give it a couple minutes before we make contact. All right, here we go. All right, here we go. We're coming in. We want to match up our seams right there. Look at that. Holy cow, is that nice. Seam matches right up. That's why we cut a bevel cut on the end of both pieces, so that it can go together just like that. Look at that. Man, is that sweet. Perfect. Now, the reason we did that is that's going to give us a little bit of extra room to attach that. Right. Make a mark there and there. All right. We want it right in the center, so it's going to be right there and right there. All right. Now what we're going to do is we are going to mark the length of our dowels. See the little black mark right there? That's how deep we want to go in. Right, so our mark. There we go. So that's going to go in that, and that's going to go in there, and it's going to attach just like that. Perfect. So now all we got to do is glue it. All right, there we go. We've got cement in these two spots, and we've got cement right there on those two ends. Give it a few minutes. All right, time to attach. We're going to get it in there, get it in there, attach the end, and we're going to attach the end here. All right, check that out. Man, is that cool. Wow, very nice. All right. Let's go around to this side and do the same thing. Gee whiz, that's swell. Look at that. All right, here are the 4 pieces that we're going to use to make up our medallion that hangs at the end of our chain. All right, so what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to start right here. I'm going to come in with the knife slightly tilted, follow my Sharpie line around, go through our Sharpie line just like that. Notice how the edges all have a bevel around them? That's exactly what we want. See that? That's exactly how it works. And because we cut all the bevel cuts, when we go to stick this together, it's going to have these nice little valleys in between each of the pieces. Okay, now what we've done is we've put our first guideline down because everything's going to be built off of that. So we'll stick this down, and then we know all the rest of our pieces will go down perfectly. All right, there we go. Give it a couple minutes. All right, there we go. Look at that. All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to follow our piece all the way around and cut it with a bevel cut. We're going to stick our knife down in at an angle, follow it all the way around, just like that. Now we're going to use our brass tube to come right back through here. Wow, very nice. Now it's got this nice dimensional feel to it because we've got the bevels on the top side and the slight bevel on the bottom side, so it looks pretty sculpted. Okay, now we've got our diamond shape here. We're going to come in and slightly bevel cut it around all four sides. That is a nice beveled diamond. Now we're going to bring this in. All right. All right, there it is. Very cool. Okay, here we go. We're going to make our bracket to hold our chain. Same thing we've done before. We're going to embed this rod in the middle of this piece. So, all right, we're going to cut the end off like so because we want our rod to stick out of the end. So we're going to... Perfect. Just like that. See that? See how we're flush right in here? Okay, so we measured a center line right here, so we know that our piece is going to be centered, and then we used the two pieces of metal and we pushed it onto here to make our two indents, and there's our marks. So, just like that. All right, there you go. There's... Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to come in with our quick seal. All right, there we go. We filled in those two little gaps and we filled in a couple knife marks right there. There we go. We've completed the building of the two pieces for our Wayward Wind Keyblade. Totally easy. You saw the whole thing. You can totally nail this. All right, there we go. Piece of cake. We knocked out the whole front end of our Keyblade. We used different thicknesses of foam so we could create this thicker and thinner detail here. So we've got the cool little step downs in between the fingers. You saw how we split our foam dowel and trenched out the middle so we could put the steel rod in there so it's nice and sturdy. And we did our wraps for our little brackets on the top. Oh, and we also knocked out our medallion with some cool bevel cuts on there. Super easy stuff. This is totally easy. Turned out great. So that concludes making an EVA foam Keyblade Part 2. Hope you liked it. If you did, give us a like, share us with a friend, and subscribe to this channel. And together we're gonna go step by step through a lot more super cool builds so that you get the props you deserve. Thanks for coming. See you next time.